Peace and blessings, family. Your brother Alif in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. This is part 4 of Heaven on Earth, or the reality of heaven as taught by Messenger Elijah Muhammad, the first, the last, and the only messenger of Allah God, the supreme Allah, who came in the person of the Master Farad Muhammad, to whom our praises are due forever. Today I just would like to build very briefly on the science, the spiritual science of the messenger teachings on the transformation of hell into heaven. Now this is a deep theology because in other religions, they generally speak of heaven and hell as two separate places, like the righteous go to heaven and the wicked go to hell. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad explains to us that the righteous and the wicked are not going to heaven nor hell, but they are in heaven or hell according to the way they think, the way they live, the way they eat, the way they practice their nature or characteristics. So heaven and hell to him was dealing with the reality of the world in which we now live, which is a real unique and distinction from all of the great world's major religions such as Christianity, traditional or Orthodox Islam, Sufism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, what have you. All of the religious texts that's out there. Now he teaches us in summary that in the destruction, our mother plane will burn America, and that she will burn for 390 years. It takes 610 years to cool off. 390 plus 610 equals 1,000. So we're talking about 1,000 years or millennium of total destruction. Try to imagine that. Try to picture that. Imagine, like just a few days ago, they had eruption, volcanic eruption, when magma comes from the core of the earth onto the surface. We call it hot lava, what have you, but it burns things. But imagine your city, your town, your country, their city, their town, their country, burning for 390 years. That means that the civilization we know now, we would not know in the future. Not us physically, but our children's children's children wouldn't even know it. It wouldn't even remember. So the Bible teaches us that God is going to make all things new. That there will be a new heaven and a new earth, a new Jerusalem, if you will, a new city of peace, a city of Islam, a city of freedom, justice, and equality. Not Islam like organized religion, not terrorism, not extremism, not force, face, or compulsion, but a world of balance. In the hereafter, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the white people in that world would have the mentality of peace and righteousness by faith, even though it may not be their nature, and that the black people would be the same. He said that in the hereafter, there will be no medicine, but the food will be our medicine. The leaves will be our medicine. And the Bible teaches us that after this type of destruction, it's going to be a real unique world in the sense that the trees are going to be different. Because once you burn a tree, if you could picture this for a minute, imagine the tree catching on fire. Then imagine the roots of that tree catching on fire. Now you burnt the fruit, you burnt the leaves, you burnt the bark of the tree, you burnt the wood of the tree, you burnt the root of the tree, you burnt the essence of the tree. So what happened to the tree? It went back to its origin. It went back to pure blackness. It turns back to pure organic matter. It turns back to that carbon atom. It goes back to the very essence of the universe, which is pure blackness. Now, 610 years of that organic matter fermenting. Now you have new trees growing out of that. The new tree is going to produce new leaves. The new leaves are going to produce new fruit. It's going to be a fruit that I can't even imagine. It's going to produce leaves that you can't fathom. The messenger explains to us that will be a different type of world in which we live in. That's considered the hereafter, or after the destruction of this particular world. So the Bible teaches us in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47, verse 12, that the trees, these new trees, are going to grow on both sides of the river, and that the river is going to actually have such pure water, or unique water, or special water, where traditional water, you know, we say H2O. Now, I mean, you know, it's hydrogen and oxygen, but a lot of scientists believe that in the early origins of the planet Earth, that the oxygen was different than the oxygen we have now, the H2O. Some believe that there was an extra oxygen atom there. But when you have extra oxygen, you have extra issues in the body that strengthens the immune systems and prevents diseases and can stop diseases. So if you can imagine eating, say, something that's high in antioxidants, like say some blueberries, for example. A lot of scientists say, oh yeah, eat the fresh, clean blueberries, even though the soil may be poisoned, the water may be dirty. Now, I mean, the pesticides may be in the air. Now, I mean, the sun is going through layers of pollution. It's not what God or law or the original alcoholic, the creator, because we believe in one creator of creation. Don't get it twisted. We just don't believe in a mystery creator. We don't believe in a mystery God. We don't believe that nothing can do something. I mean, we believe that there are very fine things that when something is doing nothing, we consider it nothing. Now, I mean, if you have a car and you don't have no gas, you'd be like, drive me to the store. I ain't got no gas. I ain't got no car. Your car right there. Ain't no battery in there. I ain't got the keys. I can't drive the car. Now, I mean, so if it's not working, we consider it a non-thing or no thing. So it's something, but if those atoms are not vibrating, if those atoms are not pulsating, if those atoms are not in motion, those atoms are not on time. Those atoms to us do not exist. So we don't worry about what's outside our universe or outside our sphere. I mean, I hear a lot of scientists say, oh, there's multiple universes. Even if it was, and it wouldn't be mathematical, but say hypothetically, even if it was, those multi-universes would be part of the whole one universe. So you can't take away the ahad or the oneness of the law of subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we believe that's a fact. The messenger said in 1965, in the message to the black man, he said, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest. We say that we bear witness that there is no God but God. We have no problem with that. We have a problem with organized religion. We have a problem with people fighting and arguing and killing each other over rituals and, you know, all the different methabs or so-called schools of thought of Islam, and they be like, oh, I'm Sunni, I'm Shia, I'm Ahmadiyya, I'm Hanafi, I'm Ansar. It's the same thing, teaching the same teachings, just in a different way. You know what I mean? So there's one God. There's one spiritual science system. Under that spiritual science system, you may say, oh, we do the meat like this. We're kosher Jews. Then y'all can eat the food of the halal Muslims. Oh, we're vegans. Everybody by nature is a vegan. Know what I mean? But in this world of survival, you might be a part-time vegan. But the reality is, in the hereafter, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that everyone will be a vegetarian in the hereafter. We won't eat meat in the hereafter. And our lifespan will increase because humans by nature are really designed to live for 1,000 years. Yeah, we get sick and die usually within 100 years, but the Bible teaches 120 years because we're under sin because of the corrupt world that we're living in. The Holy Quran teaches the same thing, just in a slightly different way. The Holy Quran teaches us that corruption has appeared on the land and the sea on account of what mankind's hands have wrought. So we're in a deep position. It's a system of transformation. Now, I mean, and we have to be patient. We have to have patience. We have to practice sabori. Now, I mean, you have to have patience, as we say in the Arabic. These leaves, as I said, that's these trees that's going to be on both sides of the river. The Bible teaches us that the fruit of those trees in the future are going to be for food. And it teaches us in Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12, that the leaves of that tree will be for medicine or healing of the nation. So that is the tree of life. Now, I mean, our ancient ancestors, you know, they would gather around the African trees and, you know, they would make clothing from the trees. They would use the wood. They would eat the food from it. They would take herbal tinctures from it. So the thing is, the tree of life is like the movie they had, Avatar. Now, I mean, they had the tree at the center of the kingdom. It was like the tree of life. And of course, the colonizers came and wanted the rich minerals under the trees, so they destroyed that civilization like they destroyed ancient Africa. But the people, the principle, you can't destroy the truth. The Bible teaches us you could crush the truth to the earth, but it shall rise again. So the resurrection is a mental resurrection. It's a consciousness. It's a spiritual resurrection. It's a spiritual science resurrection. It's not a resurrection where you're going to be coming looking for some minister or some temple or some masjid or some imam or some masjid or some mosque or some rabbi or some father or some lord or some sheikh or some some school or some church or some cathedral or some synagogue or what have you. No, you yourself will be the temple of God. The water or the wisdom of God is going to come out of your subconsciousness. It's already in you. We're just trying to wake you up and get you active, get you back on that path. It took us a long time to get to this fallen state. It's going to take us a long time to get back to our pristine state, but the struggle continues. Know what I mean? So you want to remember Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12, that the trees are going to be on both sides of the river, and the fruit of those trees are going to be for the food, and the leaves of those trees are going to be for the healing of the nations. And that type of system, every so-called dis-ease could be solved through how to eat to live, as taught by our Lord God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever. Peace and blessings, family. I'm your brother, Minister Alif, in the struggle for truth, reality, freedom, justice, and equality. You be Islam. Salam Allah.